getting ready for Jiri Prochazka, a name that, I feel like you guys have been circling each other for quite a while, considering you were both champions at one point. So we've heard fighters in the past say when they don't have fights lined up, they when they're in camp, they kind of envision possible opponents in down the line, and they prep for them mentally. Is Jiri a guy that you had feels like you've been preparing for so long, ever since he had given up the belt and then you won the belt?
Well, even before that, I wanted to fight him long before that. I asked for this fight. I believe the first time was maybe back in 2021 when he first got here. So I'd already had it in my mind, like, yep, this is a guy I start to kind of be aware of and be on the lookout for, and that's we eventually might meet.
What was it about him that made you want him to fight him so long ago? Was it the name as a former champion of the promotion? Was it his fighting style? What about him specifically did you want to fight back then?
Well, I didn't really know who he was or know anything about his career before he got to the UFC. It was just a style. He came in, he burst on the scene in a very big way with a big knockout over a guy that's been here for a while, who I thought I might be on a collision course too. But then after that, it was like, okay, this guy's got a fun style. He's got an exciting style, and it'd be nice to share the cage with him. I believe we put on a good show.
Have you seen him change at all since that performance? Because even when he fought Rakic after his post-fight press conference, he was saying, my coaches were yelling at me to keep my hands up, and I just wasn't. So, at least he's aware he does need to. He's just not. Have you seen him change at all from that first fight to now, or is he just still the same Jiri Prochazka you saw back then?
The fight kind of ended pretty early, so his style and how he fights is pretty much the same. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess, is kind of like the thing. Obviously, he's had the losses now, but before then, he had like 25 plus knockouts at the time, so he's proven that his style is effective, and it can be effective against the best in the world. So I don't know.
Before your last fight, obviously the story was you coming back from your Achilles or your injury, I should say. That's an injury that it takes a while to just get the bounce back in your step, like the explosion. So I guess do you feel like that step and that bounce is back now, as opposed to it seems like you kind of had to come back sooner than you wanted to against Alex?
Yeah. I feel I'm in a much better spot as far as that injury goes. It's not something that I think about like then. Obviously with the Pereira, he's got those little calf kicks. So that's something that it was kind of on the mind. But now I feel fully healed, fully ready to go, and fully ready to unleash my entire arsenal with no pauses.
And you've made it known, like you see some of the comments about you on social media, and you respond to some, but your fellow fighters seem to be backing you too. Michael Bisping said he sees where you were coming from with that Alex situation in the PI. Like, why would you fight then when you can fight for money? Luke Rockhold seemed to say, I think you could actually get this done. And Islam and Umar both said they saw you at the PI quite often, and they were very impressed with what they saw. So they're also kind of picking you to win. So what's it like to see the fans say these one things, but the people that actually are around you and seeing you training, they know what you can do, and they're picking you to pull off this victory?
Yeah, I mean, as far as everything, for the stuff online, it's just people talking. I understand that, it's hard to watch other people do things that maybe you wish that you could do, or maybe that you would want to do, or maybe you don't have the courage to do, and then so you want to kind of spit out some venom and try to bring them down to a certain level of maybe where you are, or maybe you feel about yourself. So I just don't really focus on that. It's more the fact that the guys that are actually in here that take the same risk as me and do it, and they respect it and they understand what I'm putting into this. That means a lot more than any weirdo sitting in his mom's basement talking with Cheeto dust and shit.
Just last one for me. Can I get your thoughts on the main and co-main of those in the top of the card?
Yeah, I think those are phenomenal fights. I believe Islam is the pound for pound best fighter in the world right now. So anytime you get to see the best go at it like that, you put your glasses on, you get your pen and your notebook ready, and you take notes. You take notes, and you get to see how it's done. And he's up against a gamed opponent in Arman Sarukian, and I believe Arman's grappling is very, very high level, and I believe he brings in a very, very high level style. So I'm definitely going to be tapped into that. And then in the co-main event, you got the new champ, Morba, which I love Morba, man. I love Morba. I hate that he has to fight Umar. Umar is also one of those guys that's exciting to fight. His striking style is exciting. It's explosive. He brings a well-rounded grappling game. And Morab's gas tank is just always impressive, bro. It's always impressive, the pace that he keeps and how he just comes and brings it to fight. So I believe they're both amazing fights.
Hey, Jamal, right here. I saw last night Adara Bierly, who I think was doing some cooking for you throughout the camp, say that you had cut 50 pounds through this camp. I guess, can you say, when did that start and what was the weight loss journey like through this training camp?
It's been smooth. It's been smooth. I believe after an injury, I was about like, I probably was about like 260. A couple times when I went to go try to test it out, to go train, it wasn't really feeling. This was back like August, September. So I took some time and decided to just like kind of let it rest and let it heal up, and it was a good decision because I'm getting good results with that, and just the weight cut hasn't really been tough at all. Just, you know, I've had my girl Adair. She's been doing the meal prep. She's been talking with the great Ian Larios, and they've been coming up with the meal plans and everything like that. So I still eat really good food. It's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal cook, and yeah, it's been pretty easy, bro. It's just been work as usual.
Yeah, that turkey leg looked very good that she made. Is that the heaviest you've been, even with the Achilles, or?
Nah, I got heavy. I was a little bit heavier with the Achilles just because I was completely down and not able to do absolutely anything. I'm like, you can barely, like, whenever you tear your Achilles, bro, it's like, it's a tough one. That was definitely a tough one.
And what do you think a win here does for you, right? Like, do you think this sets you right into another championship fight, or is it going to depend if Ankalaev fights Alex and maybe wins and they do a rematch there, or are you feeling you win here the way you want, your next fight is for a championship?
Yeah, 100%. I feel a win here, especially a dominant, impressive win here. Next fight is title. Next fight is championship. I don't see why it wouldn't be. You know, Ankalaev fought number 4 or something like that last, and then that just says title. So I'm fighting number 2 in the world. I don't see me going backwards from that.
Jamal, people trying to criticize you for engaging with fans about the Pereira rematch and stuff like that, but realistically, what you're doing is creating a backstory for why people would want to see the rematch. Do you think people underestimate that you involving yourself in that is actually setting you up for a championship fight should you win on Saturday?
Some people are stupid. Like, you know, I mean, you can't fix stupid. I mean, you can't. 1 + 1 still equals 2 to me, but to some people, common sense ain't common. So it's 100%. That's what I feel. That's what I feel it is. That's what I feel it's done. I believe we come with both exciting styles to put on a performance and leave a lasting memory whenever we step in the cage. You know, people liked it and loved the moment so much the last time. So why wouldn't you know what I mean? Want it again. Plus, yeah, I'm not making any excuses because I signed the contract. I came in. I felt ready to go, and I felt like I was good. But still, it's 9 months off of an Achilles injury. You know, I like to see what I do now with where I'm at now.
We talked about Jiri and like potentially, you know, him maybe changing styles because he's had a couple of losses. But for you as a fighter, do you think, obviously he had success before that, but even just at his later stage of his career, it's almost a mistake to change styles because then he might be caught between the two and maybe try and revert to type in the thing. Do you think that once you settle into a certain style, at a certain point in your career, it's almost a mistake to try and change it?
No, I believe you can always grow. You can always evolve as a fighter. You can always be better. So, yeah, that's a good thing to see from any fighter if they're willing to go to the drawing board, be critical of themselves, and make those adjustments. I do it all the time. No, anybody can say whatever. There's nobody more critical of myself than me. You know, I'm always critiquing my style. I'm always critiquing things. Even when sometimes my coach would be like, "Man, you look really good." I'd be like, "Nah, bro, we gotta." I feel like it still needs to be another level. It needs to be better.
And last one for me, I feel like with the fight with someone like Jiri, you know it's going to just be a bit of carnage in there. Are these the sort of ones that you think you can go in there and be like, whatever happens, this is going to be fun. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, me and him are going to go in there and we're going to have a scrap and this is going to be a good time?
Yeah, I mean, for me, It's like every fight, any fight I go in, I'm very, very blessed to be in the position that I'm in. I'm very, very blessed for my journey, and that's just what I focus on: the ups, the downs, the good, the bad. You got to take it all. You got to take it all as your journey, because your journey is unique to you, and that's what makes it special, you know. And you can't say you're blessed and I'm lucky to be here or these things like that when when you stay down on the bad. You can't just be high on the high parts. You got to keep your head held high on the down times too.
Hey, Jamal over here. On your left.
Oh shit!
I know, right?
I look like he said something.
I saw you were very excited to be sharing a card with Morba. Can you just talk about how that friendship started and the camaraderie that you two have?
Yeah, I'm excited to be on the same card as Morba. That whole team, Morba, Aljo, Matt, Sarah, Ray Long, all those guys have always been awesome. Anytime I've ever been around or anytime we've ever interacted. When I tore my Achilles, I relocated out to Las Vegas to lean on the PI and the staff there to help me get back to form. And Morba was just he lives out there as well, and every time I see him, he's just always awesome, the most respectful guy. He invited me over to his house. He was doing a barbecue with him, some of his other guys from Georgia, and you know that I got to see like the Georgian culture and how they treat each other, how they speak, you know, and just like the love and things like that. And it was just from that moment, it was like, yeah, bro, this guy, I can never go against this guy.
That's really cool. Final question. What was cooler, meeting the Clippers at the Intuit Dome or meeting Lenny Kravitz at the PI?
Oh, that's tough. The Intuit Dome was dope, but Lenny Kravitz is a legend. You know, American woman. Yeah.
You want to do this, Simon?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jamal. Let's start off with this one because I'm an LA guy, so I got a soft spot for Jared Goff. How far is he taking the Lions this year in the playoffs?
We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl, 100%. I'm kind of upset that they made it a Saturday game. So so during the fights is going to be the game. But I'm gonna be tapped in. I'm gonna be watching 100%. They always got my support. I watched every single game of the 0-16 season, so I don't see myself missing the game now. You know, but yeah, 100%, bro. Love everything that Jared Goff has been doing since we got him, and I'm glad that he shut a lot of haters up because they thought they were sending him to Detroit to die, and now he's thriving.
And then I kind of want to go back to you made a comment about the weirdos eating Cheetos in their mom's basement collecting dust. Is there ever any weird interactions in person, like when you're out and like fighters, they go and they take pictures with fans and they interact with them? Is there ever a part of you that's like thinks in the back of your mind, like, man, is this guy that's asking me for a photo right now, is he one of these guys that talks trash, or are you all pretty cool with them?
It could creep in. It could creep in there sometimes, you know, but for the most part, no. People are respectful to my face. Like, I've never had a fan come up to me and come with any of the type of energy that you see online, but that's why they do it online. You know, because they, like I said before, they just want to try to bring you down, insult you in the moment. But everybody knows, like man to man, like it's a reason why, like we're respectful to each other whenever we tell them we're cordial, because there's always that underlining of violence that, you know what I mean, that could happen. And even though it's a violent sport that we do and they love to talk about it, they're not about it. You know, so, and another thing that's like kind of crazy to me as far as that goes, so when sometimes, you know, I'd be laying in my bed chilling, and then, you know, I decide to troll back a little bit, you know. I throw my little pokes out there, my little jabs out there, and every time I do it, I find it interesting that the headlines, oh, Jamal loses it, he's spazzing out, oh, he's crazy, and something, it's like always like something's wrong with me. So I rarely say anything back, right? You guys do this all the time. So whenever I say something, if I troll, I got a mental issue, but you sit and do this all the time, what does that say about you?
Jamal, back here. Good to talk to you again, representing Michigan. Detroit
Yes, sir.
Lions, I've been telling people for 30 years we're coming, and we're finally coming. So it's gonna happen. Can't wait to see that. So you mentioned your girlfriend Adair. I interviewed her, and she knows her MMA. Chopped it up with her, I think, in Spaces. What is it like having a girlfriend that really knows this sport? And does she give you some insight? Does she give you her opinions ever on strategy or training or anything like that?
No, it's good. We more so talk about like dialogue about MMA and the things that we see as far as like advice and things like that. Again, she tells me what she tells me. Like I said, it's just like a dialogue. She tells me what she sees. She doesn't really like try to try to tell me what to do as far as that. She trusts that I'm good, that I'm going to do. She's really supportive. She's always there to just like kind of, what do you need? What do you need? She's asking me what I need and things like that. And then if she knows, she'll use her knowledge to kind of just preemptively handle things for me and things like that. So it's been great. It's been amazing, and I'm lucky.
Very cool. Yeah, in fact, I've been trying to find a beautiful girl that loves MMA. I'm having no luck. I think I got to be a high-profile fighter like you, but I'm going to keep trying. So let me ask you, the fight with Pereira, that had that weird circumstance where it looks like the referee was going to say, let's stop the action for a minute, and then Powhatan waved him off, stepped up, and cracked you. So there is kind of a little bit of an asterisk in my mind on that. Is that something you think about anymore, or you just put that out of your head at this point?
I mean, it is what it is. I focus on the things I control. I can't change the past or anything like that. You know, for me, I just kind of spoke on it just because for me it was strange. In my mind, in that moment, it was still kind of a pause. I know a lot of what was made of it was the fact that I threw, and I did throw, but it was more so a reflex. It wasn't something like, if you notice the way that I fight, I'm calculated. I set things up, and I have a game plan for the things that. In that moment, there was no game, and it was just all raw natural instinct and raw, like, you know what I mean, just raw reflexes from the fact of like. I just never seen nothing like that before. Yeah. Like, especially there's not something that typically happens. Like, you hear a ref yell stop. People will say like, oh, he stopped. Was the step in, but he yelled stop from the beginning. I'm standing. My legs were completely locked. I'm standing straight up. First thing I did was ask him, yo, you good? You okay? And I went out to touch gloves. The touch gloves wasn't for a restart. That was touch gloves to let him know if I did, which I didn't think that I did in the moment, hit you low. My bad. That's not how I want this fight to go. And then it's just like he was still locked in and ready to come in and take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you just think you can't wave off the referee like that, but I guess in that case he did. You're a man that always has a good strategy. One of the things I know about you from talking to you several times is that you're a real guy. You fought in the streets, but you also are a very cerebral fighter, a lifelong martial artist. Do you have an interesting strategy for this one? I remember we used to talk about the fact that this is what I thought you might do, and a couple times I hit it, you know, and maybe this guy can come in wild, and you kind of come in as a sharpshooter and just knock him off. I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but any thoughts about how you might handle this matchup?
Yeah, I definitely see openings and opportunities where I can assert myself and dominate the fight. And ultimately, we can talk about what we see, this and that, but you got to go in there and do it. You got to go in there and put it on film. So that's just more so what I'm locked into, just staying free, flowing, and ready to take care of anything. You know.
Final quick one for me. Who helped you for this camp? If you could throw out some names.
I got my guy. I brought my guys out from Omaha. I got Carlos Trinidad. He'll be fighting actually for the BKF championship soon. Nice. I believe it's in April. He's out in Dubai. He's been instrumental for me for this camp. Just he's got really slick hands. He's got an unorthodox way of striking and getting to his punches that he's really good at, and he can crack. I got my guy Blaine Richards, Kiefer Blaine Richards, if you will. He's been money for me. He's really good at mixing it up. He's got a strong wrestling base and background, as well as being able to get it off with them hands too. Pause, if that's crazy at all. And I've been out at Skywalker 101 with Danny. You know, I got my guys, and then I got my coaches, Justin Andrews, Chad Pomeroy, that've been with me since day one. You know, molded me into not only the fighter but the man that I am today. Got some work in with Bilal Bilal Muhammad, you know, the welterweight champ. Both of us Chicago born, and he's always willing to look out and lend a helping hand whenever I need it. Just a lot of guys, you know, a lot of guys. I got my guy Allen back in Vegas, who I've grown close to and gotten a lot of work in with over the last year. Just it's been a team effort. It's been a team effort. Everybody rounding things about and getting in shape, getting ready to bend that corner. Whoa,
Yep.
if you will.
Absolutely. Good luck. Go get that W.
If there was to, it looks like they may make the fight with Pereira and Ankalaev. So who do you got in that fight?
If that fight does, if that is the fight that they're gonna do, it's an interesting one. It's a really big toss up. Pereira's always evolving. He's always in the gym, so he's gotten better in a short amount of time. Because I believe that can be attributed to the fact that he kind of came into this game a little late, so he's still a little wide-eyed and still a little, you know what I mean, still got that new sense of things. All right, cool, excitement for learning new things and adding new things. Or what can I add to my game to be effective here, and kind of things like that, as opposed to somebody that's been around for quite a while and kind of figured into their game. But Ankalaev is game. I don't like the motherfucker, but he's game. You know what I mean? He's got good striking. He's willing to mix in the wrestling and willing to put him in that whole little wheel of work, to where he's just kind of just work between the strikes and the up and the down and things like that. So I believe it's a really, really good matchup. I believe it's really a toss up. If I had to put my money, or if I was putting money out there, I'd probably keep it in my pocket, to be honest with you, because it's that much of a toss-up. But Ankalaev's got some good tools that I believe that he can catch people saying, oh, if he stands up with him, like with the way that he strikes, you know, he don't really take a lot of chances, you know. So I believe there's a way that he can have success there. And then if Alex does try to press him, he can still wrestle him. So that's just kind of like the mix-up in there is going to be kind of like that versus how Alex is going to mix up his approach to striking and all those things with him.